If I fail, I fail. If I pass, I pass.
So that's how you came.
If I lose the money for the flight, I lose it, no problem.
That's a whole lot of sacrifice.
That's it.
Because you don't even know if you're going to get the job or not.
I don't care whether I get the job or not. Just get me a place, and I know that I can't come there and fail. Times
But
a lot of
currently-
discipline, a lot of torture.
Yeah.
Because not like you have in the desert is straightforward.
Yeah, yeah.
Mosquitoes, reptiles, all manner.
There's
I
a
tell
whole
you.
lot of things
In
in
the
there.
rain you're working, in the sun you're working. There was one temptation. I had an opportunity to get a job. Or the quest for money would affect my path. So I really top one for you if you don't have the right information. At the end of it, you need to understand how things are done within the Middle East. There are some key things you need to know before you decide to make a trip.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Digidin podcast with Anthony Ochuko. There's the fourth of its kind. In today's section, we're going to be discussing career growth, development in the Africa community within the GCC region. It's been very, very tough for some Africa nationalities. But today we're going to be discussing how we can move forward from where we are today. And I have a special guest who has experience both home and abroad, who is going to be discussing how we can navigate ourselves to that place that we want to be. And joining me here on this podcast is no other person but Mr. Ogaga. Sir, you are welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Ochuko. It's a privilege to be here to have a discussion like this because of the challenges we all see that some Africans are having.
Yeah.
Not all Africans anyway. Some have decided on their path and they're okay with that. So it's a good one. Let's see.
I want to ask, before we move into properly, what should be the expectation of anyone who is actually watching this podcast right now? What should they learn from this podcast at the end of it?
At the end of it, you need to understand how things are done within the Middle East.
Yeah.
There are some key things you will need to know before you decide to make the trip. You don't just wake up and decide that people are here, maybe you're from Ghana, from any other part of it. You just decide that you're coming.
Yeah.
It will be a really tough one for you if you don't have the right information before you embark on the journey.
You know, you sent me your profile and I went through your profile and I see that you are somebody who has worked in the field of health and safety, becoming a consultant. That's like, you've been in the field for like, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 20 years,
Okay.
right? And can you just walk us through your background, how it started and how you got to this level of management position?
Yeah, I actually grew up in an HSE home. My
Okay.
father was actually into safety supplies and all those stuff. So
Wow.
we normally go to these companies as young men,
Okay.
maybe helping our dad and all that.
Yeah.
We always meet the HSE officers, we meet the HSE managers every now and then. I liked it, but I really wanted to read mechanical. That was my crave.
Yeah.
You know, every young man, I want to be engineering or a doctor, just like that.
Yeah.
So, but over the time, I was like having challenges here and there. I was like, no. I knew I wanted to work in the HSE department. Then a family friend now asked, why don't you do HSE? I said, I know I want to do it. So, okay, come over. So I had to take some exams again.
Yeah.
In the
Health and safety?
yeah, no, not just the normal SS exam.
Okay.
And the only school that runs it in the country then was PTI.
Okay. The Petroleum Training Institute back in Warri, Delta State. Yeah.
Petroleum
Yeah.
Training Institute. So took the exam,
Yeah.
passed it, started the course, the OND, the HND. Now, there was one temptation. While I was in the OND, I had an opportunity to get a job.
Okay.
And one thing I know is that if I start working after OND, the test or the quest for money would affect my path. So I turned it down and decided that I must complete the HND before thinking about getting a job. And that helped me. So after the OND, I went all out, finished the HND. And by God's grace, it's like a miracle anyway.
Yeah.
I got a job in a drilling rig. That was some years after I finished school.
Would you say that you not taking that job as at that time and you trying to continue your education play a major role? Unlike some people, they're like, there is a job in front of me, there is money in front of me. Should I continue my education or should I just jump into and start working? Would you say play a major role? You know?
Yeah, it played a major role because you can cut short your career.
Yeah.
Thinking because, of course, you will grow as an OND and all that, but you have limitations. Because before I got the job in the drilling rig,
Yeah.
the criteria that was set then, you must have graduated.
Okay.
Now, just imagine still had the OND. I would not think of doing part-time. You know what it takes.
Yeah.
You know, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle, yeah.
It's a real battle to go through it, and finally. So I may have been taken off drilling. I may have maybe be in construction or somewhere else. So, and I really want to thank God because this part has been a blessing to me. You know, because it's an international part that you actually the same job, same job anywhere you go in the world.
Yeah,
same. There's
job.
no difference.
Wow, that's amazing. How many years did you spend in the rig back in Nigeria before you moved to the Middle East?
Wow, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that was the minimum they requested.
Like minimum requirement before you can move internationally.
Minimum you should have before your CV would even be considered.
You don't mean it?
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of training involved during that time.
It's not just training. Sometimes it's called a real drill. Sometimes a lot of discipline, a lot of torture.
Yeah.
Because drilling there is not it's not like you have in the desert. It's straightforward.
Yeah.
You understand? But when you have to go sometimes in the jungle, and you know, mosquitoes, reptiles, all manner.
There's a whole lot of things.
In the rain you're working, in the sun you're working.
Whoa.
So you work with teams that men that really were ready to go all out. You enjoy it so much, but at the same time the challenges, the terrain.
So that kind of, should I call it that kind of tough environment actually gave you like a better view or a clear view of where you are going to internationally.
Yeah, and what made it easier, you have virtually 6, 7, 8, 10 different nationalities there.
Yeah.
Not just the indigenous people. You
Yeah.
have mechanic, maybe it's a German. You have electrician, maybe it's from Czech Republic. So
Yes.
you have that mix early. So you understand the international
standard already, yeah.
Your manager could be from Romania.
Okay.
So that flair was there because then you were having just the first rig manager from the country coming in and you're like, wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So it was a good grooming at that point in time. You had challenges here and there, but you know that you are learning so much.
Fast forward to the Middle East.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
I actually left where I was and I was on land and I moved to Jacob.
Okay.
That's where I started working as a consultant for the client in the drilling rig. There I moved out from there, then I joined the Middle East.
Yeah.
We actually took the exams here.
Wow.
So it was not like they used to have the interviews on the Skypes and all, but the network is so poor that if it goes off, they might not call you again. So we said, no problem, just wait. We'll take the bull by the horn.
Okay.
We'll pay the price. We'll pay our flight. Just give us a place. If I fail, I fail. If I pass, I pass.
So that's how you came.
If I lose the money for the flight, I lose it, no problem.
That's a whole lot of sacrifice.
That's it.
Because you don't even know if you're going to get the job or not.
I don't care whether I get the job or not. Just get me a place, and I know that I can't come there and fail.
But currently, I don't think it's done that way, right?
No, it's not done that way.
But back in the day,
at that time, it was an opening that you just need to take advantage of.
What year are we talking about here?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's like 12 or 12.
11 years
yeah.
now. So then there was not this much rush here. I first came 2011. I took my NEBOSH then.
Yeah.
Then I came back again in 2014 to actually come for the interview.
Yeah.
And it was a tough one anyway. It was a tough one. So you have to read like you... The only thing you know is reading.
Yeah.
Practice what you read, and you have some tips here and there. Okay, what do you think? What do you think? If questions, so we just ask some questions, and you run through, and even in the plane you're reading. You landed, you're reading.
You know, from everything that you've said so far, there's a lot of dedication from your side. There is a lot of hard work from your side. You need to like go through the needles, or how do they say it?
Yeah,
you need to go.
Yeah.
Let's go to growth and development. What specific skill do you believe are most valuable for the Africans to develop in order for them to thrive in the GCC region?
As long as there are any job opportunities here, that any other nationality can do. If you have the work experience at home, you come and compete. But don't come if you don't have work experience.
Okay.
That's why they call it expats.
Expats.
So when you're coming, what are you coming as? You come as a labor. So you're a fresh graduate, you are coming here. For what?
For what? No skill.
No skill set,
just
no
have
work
your
experience, you don't have your certificate. What are you doing here? That's the first question you ask yourself. That's why they call them expats. So what have you been doing that you say you are an expert
that
in
makes you qualified to be an expatriate?
They need
your service.
My service here.
Yeah.
And these are the challenges we're having. You don't just wake up and take the plane, there's job in the UAE, then they're coming, I'll just try and I'll just apply. Fine, it is good. Some made their way through that path, but it's something that
It's a struggle
it's a struggle.
when you get here.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
It's a struggle because you find a lot. You here you can understand better
Yeah.
how the Middle
Yeah,
East is.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like you just walk in.
Yeah.
People are coming from Europe. The same job you're looking for. They are coming from Egypt. They are coming from Romania. They are coming from all over the world. US just for this same
The
job.
competition is very high.
It's stiff.
And you want to say that, if I may say, those people, they will have more advantage because where they are coming from, the learning environment, the facility which they have and everything.
may not
Yeah.
have the certificate, but they have the practical work experience.
Aha.
You understand? They may
Yeah.
not have the big degrees you have.
You have.
You may have a master's. They don't have it.
Yeah.
They may just do a 2 years course and they have real practical work experience. They are experts in what they do, and that is what they're looking for.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Moving forward. I know you don't have much time.
Yeah, no, don't worry. Go ahead.
All right. So now, how important is continuous learning, certificate, professional development in building, credibility here in the Middle East?
I would say the only reason I'm here is because I bought into that early.
Yeah.
You understand? Before I got a job, I even opted to work free back home in Nigeria. Just let me just have that work experience. They said no. I was going from place to place looking for where to work for free.
Voluntary services.
Just let me work. And they said no. So I met a friend, a colleague in school.
Yeah.
The husband was into HSE. And that was where I heard about Nebosh.
Okay.
She said, if you must do any course, make sure you do this course. So when my company was paying us a part of our payoff
Yeah.
at that time, every dime they paid me went into Nebosh.
Some people use it to buy land and
Not the buy like they bought a car right in front of me. Yeah. They bought a car, good car right in front of me. Every dime that came in went into Ayosh, Nebosh, and that's all. Not one dime left.
wow.
I threw everything into the training. So when they asked me now, send your CV, do you have Nebosh? I already had it like 4 years back. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was competing with those that had up to 10 years work experience. So when we came, we took the exam, you pass it. The first thing you have your Nebosh is there. You have a 5 years work with it, it's there. You understand?
Yeah.
Because I was already working from 2007 to 2014. That's
That's
more,
a whole lot of
already.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's that preparation has always been there.
Yeah.
And you come into the Middle East where you have good companies that training is their focus.
Yeah, exactly.
So joining my company here was like one training to another, continuous development. So I don't need to talk about continuous development because you cannot stay without them asking you what course do you want to do next. That's the kind of company we're working at. They prioritize themselves. They take pride in developing
their
those that are
employees.
working.
Yeah.
So when you talk about continuous development, you see it's predominant in the government and the semi-government companies here.
Yeah.
Because why if you are not improving, how is it going to affect the job?
Yeah, which is very, very important.
Yeah.
Because if you check, for me when I came, I never have any knowledge where I have to come to workplace management and all of these things. But the environment which I find myself, the company which I find, they provide all those training. And the good thing is that I always tell people, I say you work in a company where they provide training for you and you get paid for it, and the knowledge belongs to you.
Can you and give you the certificate?
Yeah, give you a certificate on that. How amazing is that? And you provide the certificate to another company who are even ready to even pay you higher. So you can imagine.
And then they were asking you, what courses do you think would improve your performance? Now, that is the kind of society. Now, they are not where they are today because they want to be here.
And there is something I've observed.
They plan for it.
Yeah. There is something that I've observed in my previous places of work. These opportunities are there for people to take advantage of the training, but people are not taking advantage. What do you think why have they not taken advantage of it? What do you think is the problem?
To be frank, the societal pressure is here also. There are some jobs that are done 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening.
Yeah.
There are some that they do 9 in the morning to 9 in the evening, so you do a 12-hour shift. And tell me if you don't have the tenacity. Tell me when you're going to do the course. So it takes you going the extra
miles
to start saying no. What career path do I? Because most people that you see coming here are not experts from Africa.
Yeah.
So what they do when they come in, they now begin to say, do I go into IT? Do I go into? I have a little educational background. Do I go into HSE?
Yeah.
Now, okay, I have some understanding of trade. Can I go into marketing, real estate?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So with that's in their mind, and I say, okay, what are the paths I can follow to train myself, to develop myself, education, okay, how do I? So this is how they now start navigating, and some of them have thrived in it. You understand?
Yeah.
They've thrived in it, and which is very good. But some come here and they just settle down. I'm a nanny. I'm a driver,
And they're okay with
and
that.
I'm okay with that. And
Would you want to fault someone for being contented with what is?
I would not. The person came from home knowing this is the responsibilities coming to raise him, and in that house, if you've seen them, they have no other option. Some of them work long hours.
Long hours, yeah.
And it's not like you work and they now said, okay, from 5 o'clock you've closed. People are still going to eat by 7. You understand? That's why their job is challenging.
Yeah.
And so when everything is done, you tidy up the place. Maybe by 10 you are tired.
Yeah.
You're exhausted. So when are you going to do something?
I was speaking to a friend the other day. He was telling me that, just like you mentioned, some people work 12 hours, 11 hours, and they don't have time.
Yeah.
But in the midst of this long hours of work, he registered for a certification, carved out like 1 hour to 2 hours to study on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Does it really worth it?
It's worth it, because I'm saying it's worth it because the person has drawn out a path for himself. He's not satisfied with what he's having.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I said some persons are already satisfied. Now, maybe some of them mentally they shut down. So
when you are sure that mentally, that's it.
Once you don't see studying or reading, maybe because of the culture we came from, the stiff competition at home.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you.
Yeah.
If you don't carry your traveling bag going to school, your parents are looked down on.
Yes.
That's the Nigerian society.
Yeah.
If you don't have a traveling bag going to school, your parents are looked down on why they cannot train their child. So with that mentality, you see everybody wants, the fight is to make sure that my son is either a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer.
Yeah.
That's the only thing in his head as a Nigerian.
Yeah.
Ghanaians are another brilliant set of persons, but I don't know why. You see the intelligent Ghanaians, I don't know why some of them, maybe they're okay at home. The economy is booming.
Yeah.
So most of the good ones may not come here. And even if they come, that's why I say don't come if you're not an expert in what you do.
Yeah.
If you come in, because I met a young girl and she told me there's one nice course she read, beautiful course. And she got so angry that she could not get a job. But you're a fresh graduate. That's what you're a fresh graduate. That's the problem. They call them experts.
People who have already had experience.
So you need to go get experience. She's smart, but where would you get it from?
Oh, okay. Let's move to influence and visibility. How can African professionals position themselves as key people of influence in an organization? Okay, fine. You find yourself in that organization. You started as from one of the lower level. How can they position themselves as a key people of influence in that workplace?
Now, if you're working with the goal of getting to management level, if that's your goal, then you'll have a challenge. Now, the first thing, every job has a demand,
right?
And having a good leadership skill is very important. Although you will have some challenges.
Okay.
Good. Now this is an Arabic society.
Yeah.
So most of them that will strive or will thrive better if they can actually communicate in Arabic, they'll go very far.
Okay.
You understand? At top management level, you will need a lot of Arabic. It's not because they want it, but because it's a challenge that you have to go through that hurdle at that level.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, secondly, you're working, you want to thrive to management level. There are management courses that you need to start taking.
Okay.
You understand? If you don't have those qualities, you don't have those abilities. Now, if they give you such responsibilities, what happens? You understand?
You become difficult.
So you desire to hold a top management position. That's a good dream, but those are just dreams. Now you have to have a kind of character traits that depicts leadership, not the type that shouts, roars, curse, quarrel. Now, the normal, I will not take this, you have to take it.
And I think this is predominant among the African community.
The temperament, I think. It's predominant with the West Africans. The Mid Africans are more reserved. Now, so if you have to accommodate so much. Now, there's one thing I learned with the locals. No matter how angry they are, they can be talking softly, but they are angry.
Yes.
You've noticed it also. They are angry, but they are talking softly. It's a good trait. There's nothing. It's something to learn from them. You can't take that from them. They are angry. They are not happy, but the voice tone does not change.
And the facial expression is still there.
Still there.
But for we West Africans,
oh my God.
Body gesture, face.
So now, what does that tell you? There are things we need to master. It's inbuilt in you. You understand?
Yeah.
Now, one other thing that helps us maybe from our own area is the need to develop those that we're working with. We have that trait in us. So when we have people working with us, irrespective of the nationality, we tend to pour out everything we have into them. We have no reservation.
Yeah.
You understand? I could recall some Filipinos that were working with me and some Indians. They come and say, I say, okay, what do you want? What path do you want to follow?
Yeah.
What skill do you want to develop? And I had another colleague that's a Nigerian. He picks them like this, sit down here, do it. Do it. I'm here with you. Do it. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is what the others would not do. They want to do for their own.
Yeah.
We don't have our own here. Anybody that is willing to learn, we pour ourselves into him. You understand?
Yeah.
And that is, it's difficult, but that is just who we are. You understand?
Yeah.
So those are good leadership traits that if that kind of a person enters into a good leadership position, is not biased in any way. You understand? Because he has nobody to favor.
Yeah.
He works for the entire team. And these are for good management. When they observe some of those things, they pick it. Your yes is your yes, and your no is your no.
Yeah.
You understand? Now, these are some of the things that when you have it, it helps your team and it helps you in management. Nobody will want to have someone that will want to stab someone in the back that doesn't place leadership in high esteem.
Correct.
I may not appreciate what he's doing, but I don't downplay him.
Yeah.
I don't disregard him. I don't talk him down. You understand? If
Correct.
you talk someone down, what's the probability that you will not do that in the office?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there are some good leadership traits, humility
that one needs to develop.
And it will help you at the top. Yeah, then some good presentation skills. That's what sells. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Another question from this part again is that how can Africans showcase their leadership potential without coming across as overly aggressive and over? I know you talked about it a little bit, so I want you to kind of point it out very clearly.
Now, the first thing is to know where you're weak.
Okay.
If you don't, if you're not able to identify that this is a challenge that I have to deal with, then you would have a problem.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
And sometimes you are talking, you don't really know your voice is loud.
Yes.
Because that is a norm for you. So when they point it out for you, what do? You go back and examine how to communicate. So it's good also we learn how to communicate. Go for communication.
So that's where the communication skills comes in.
Yes. Now then the ability also to tone down. You understand?
So you might be saying something right, but your tone, the way you present it,
that's our weakness.
Yeah.
The tone and the gesture.
Facial expression and the rest.
And you can see someone walking on the road and is shouting. The person is standing close to him and they are talking, but he's what? Shouting. Why are you shouting when I'm close to you and I'm communicating with you?
Yeah.
Why are you so excited? And, when you're in a place where that kind of excitement is not seen as a norm, you need to ask yourself, what is actually the challenge? You understand? That is why you walk into some places. There are some Nigerians that has made that 360 change. Some West Africans have made that 360 change. And when you walk in there and you get confused, you cannot guess where they're from anymore because they've learned and they've mastered it. You understand? Some persons are doing it very well. You can't tell wherever they're from. So I think we need to call ourselves back. We have the strength. We have the force. We need to start learning how. When you come into a society, now, there are norms in the society.
Yeah.
One of them is, this one is not seen as a strength here. It's seen as a weakness here.
Weakness, yeah.
You understand? So what do? You start developing yourself in this area because you already see now that it is not what will take you to the top in this place.
Yeah.
It will bring you down. So what do? You start working on it. You understand?
Yes.
Because it's not just here, the GCCs. So when you've noticed this, what do? You start working on it.
Because I could remember back in the days when I was just stepping up, leading a team of, housekeeping team back then.
Yeah.
And, when you talk about this thing of, being aggressive, I used to have it. You get me? When I'm communicating, I communicate with full. Of course, whatever I'm communicating like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But the tone, the body language, the voice and everything.
Yeah.
And one day my manager called me, was like, he's an Egyptian.
Yeah.
He said, Anthony, you are very good at whatever you are doing.
Good.
He said, but you need to, the way you pass your message, you need to revise your tone. You need to make sure that now you are stepping into management level. These people, in order for you to grow, you need them. So you need to find a way to
Yeah.
talk to them without you raising your voice. I know Africans, I know where you come from. You are in Nigeria. This is how you, but you know, in this workplace, this is how you do.
Good.
And by the time I started changing the way I talk, body
Yeah.
language, I begin to see that, yes.
There's
Because he told me, he
not-
said, give yourself, if you do it in the next 5 years, you're going to see yourself. And it has actually worked. Absolutely. So you're really correct. Let's move to scaling. Scaling career. What are the common mistakes African makes to that slow their career down? What are the common mistakes?
I would say some of them, it's not like the career is being slowed down.
Okay.
Here, if you have the right qualification,
Yeah.
the right skill,
Yeah.
and you go for an interview,
Yeah.
you pass the interview. If there are no other hurdles, you resume the job. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you say the hurdles in scaling, I would say most of the time that professional development
Okay.
is not there.
It's lacking somewhere.
Good. And some have it without knowing the job. So you see somebody that has a Bosch diploma and he goes for a simple interview on practical job and he doesn't know what should be done.
Like, how did the person get the certificate in the first place?
You know, academic work is different from practice. I told you the work experience. You can't downplay that work experience.
Yeah. You said
You
that.
understand?
Yeah.
You can't downplay it. And what some other, I would say some other nationality, what they do is they train with dummy work experience. That's how they train their people. Dummy work experience and how to handle interview questions.
When you say dummy work experience, what do you mean by dummy work
Good.
experience?
Now, they don't teach them the way, those are some private way they handle themselves.
Okay.
Because they work as a community. Now, let's say this is the rig.
Yeah.
They put a rig here.
Okay.
This is the rig. Okay. Or they put this work platform. And they put it here with labels on what the name of each part is. So the man is not taught based on paperwork. He's taught with an example of how it looks like.
Okay.
And they put like, okay, a flow line coming. They put a pump here. They put the engines here. And they begin to show him how the lines, how the connections, how the flow stations move.
Yeah.
They put a P&ID and they put a dummy layout in front of him. And they say, this line in the P&ID, this is what it means here.
And in the real situation, that is how it
So
is.
when he's there for an interview and you're talking to him, he already has a dummy idea. So when both of you go for an interview and you don't have nothing, and he could actually make up some things, they may find some things that he doesn't have, they will prefer him to you.
Yeah. You just have the paper certificate.
And when they ask you some core questions, you are lost.
Technical questions.
Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, these are some of the things that I think we have some training outfits now in Nigeria that actually it's a good trainer.
Yeah.
You understand? The guy does training for process safety. Once it's done, anytime he has a job relating to maintenance of flow stations and all that, he has to do a P&ID. He goes with his students as his staffs to go and run the lines, check the P&ID. So virtually the student has a theory and a practical experience.
Wow.
He does that for lecturers, he does that for students. So imagine a lecturer that is having deficiency in that area and you are trained with a practical maintenance job.
Wow.
Your lecture completely changed. So
amazing.
That is what he's doing now. And I tell you, I had a training with him. I was with some students.
Yeah.
That we did a training on introduction to process safety management.
Okay.
To be frank, I was shocked. I was at the same training with about 20 final year students. Do you know who they picked for that training? All the first class. From different petroleum, mechanical, electrical, the first class.
The first class.
Picked, given free training for that process safety.
Wow.
My brother, you could see the difference when they were handling both practical and theory.
Amazing.
So you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are some of the challenges there. This is a big challenge I have in the practical experience you cannot do. When you say scaling, you have all the theory work. So the interview knows that people practice this.
Let's talk about the best way. What should be the best way to transition from being a doer to a decision-making leader in the field?
Now, decision making is what decides a company. The rise and fall of any company is where decisions are made.
Ash, a very long shot, you know.
Yeah, you see, they are thriving here today because they are feasting on the best of leadership. Who plan, program, pursue.
Yes.
They look at their plan again, the program again, they pursue. They do some progression for the next 10 years and they start working to it. Now they have to squeeze themselves to get it. They will squeeze themselves to get that 10 years plan.
But you know, the funny thing is that those who are not in the decision making, they're like, what are they even doing? They are any more than
Brother, try to get them to understand. It's so difficult sometimes that you just keep quiet and they are looking at you. They'll say, are you like this? You cannot support the worker. You are looking at the management. You're either on the side or you're out.
So someone made me to understand. He said those that in the decision making, they are the one who can tell us that in the next 10 years, this is how the business is going to be.
Yeah.
You that is not in decision making, you are just a receptionist or you are somewhere. Every month you get paid. You don't care what happened, whether they bring money or nothing. You're just there. But those people, they always think of, I have 1,000, 2,000, hundreds of.
No. They don't sleep.
How can one transition into this?
Now, transitioning into decision making, like I said, you have to develop yourself. Now, there's a level you get to. You start developing yourself on management skill. I want to do more of engineering courses would not take you to management level.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You need to start working on management training, leadership training. Now, there was one course we did while I was in Nigeria. We call it Safe to Lead.
Safe to lead.
Yes. It's only for those in management. Those are the site leadership, all leadership. I could say that was one of the most rigorous training I've ever had. It's once in a lifetime.
Wow.
You don't do it twice.
Safe to lead.
Yes. We did every of the part of the training was practical. We didn't do theory. We don't need theory in this course.
Amazing.
Practical of 10, maybe 10. We did it in a hotel. 10, 5, 6. And they will tie your eyes. What is your manager doing? He's giving you instructions, but you don't see what he's saying. So those in the site are blind.
Yeah.
Those in the office give decisions you have to follow. So they give you instruction. There are hurdles on your way. So when they give you that instruction, what do? You don't see the hurdles. They only tell you the hurdle is on the left, move to the right. You see management job now.
Yeah.
So if you at the site say no, I will not obey you. What happens to you?
The business will start failing from there.
Good. So sometimes some management decisions, people don't understand why they take it. The man is at the end of planning. He understands his budget. He knows what he has. He knows what he's going to spend.
If he fails, the business fails.
Everything is gone. Everything is gone. So when we said when I say you must be trained, I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Then they gave us one training. They said, who would win? But the game behind that thing is, all of us are meant to win. But if one wins, this is the prize they will take. I tell you, the competition became too much. They were not ready for all of us to win. And that's why most companies are struggling. Competition. Rather than complementing each other.
I think that was one of my part of question. Let's move to community and mentorship. How can Africans in the GCC support each other growth instead of competing in isolation? I think that's what you were talking about. Just wrap that up.
What are you competing with? Who are you competing with? You can't compete with the people here. There's no way you throw away competition. You are like 20 years back.
Now, how can they complement each other? The African community, you and I.
Good. It's simple. Now, I've attended some sessions, and I see the crave in the heart of some of these people that came in with those mistakes.
Yeah.
And they want to move. They want to do something better. You understand? Now, these are the things that should have been done a long time ago. But it takes someone with a vision to actually go into that. Now, in your own small walking in the street, how many people will you affect? So when people hold seminars and trainings and workshops, you understand? Like what have been going on for a year now plus now. You see, the eyes are opened. Why do you now go, I want to do papers, I want to do this. You put yourself in bondage. When you can actually, what skill do you have? What ability, what do you have? Why don't you open a business? And you learn before you even open it, go through all the training before opening it, know how the market is, know how to break even, study all these things. Then when you open the business, you know exactly, like I was complimenting what they have here. You can see the setup.
setup
You see the
and
setup, see the
everything.
arrangement.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't
It's
just wake up
amazing.
together.
No.
Yeah, so
You went through a lot of training.
Good. So now this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when you set up, what kind of quality do you want to give up? You must set a standard for yourself. So all these trainings has to be there. We're not meant to compete. Who are you going to compete with? The companies are all scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
The private sector, the government sector. Who are you going to compete with?
Exactly.
So the idea, those that compete are the ones that in the streets. I think they are the challenges we're having.
Yeah,
here.
we're having. I think so. You know, when you talk about going for, to study the business you want to do, when I wanted to set up my Airbnb business, this is something that I've been nurturing. Like, so for the past 1 year, so I've been like going for trainings, online training, go on Udemy and all of those things to set up how to set up hotel apartment and all of those things. I went through a rigorous training, and it got to that particular time where I wanted to start it. There was like a disc. If you start, you might not succeed. The if question is, what if you? Then suddenly I started. For the first 2 months there was nothing. No one. Like, I was getting visitors. They are coming. They would just look at, like, go to the website, check it out, and nothing was happening. But all of a sudden, in the month of August, it was fully booked. And people started making inquiry for the month of September. So that shows that first, the training is very, very important.
Yeah.
Study the market and everything, how it works. So
And
that
you have to be prepared.
Exactly. For the
So
things that we
these
come.
are some mistakes some persons have made.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you are opening a business.
Yeah.
Now, if you are given a wrong feasibility and you don't do a further check from those outside,
Yeah.
you have been given a feasibility. Good is nice. Go and find out for yourself. Go through the training. So losses, businesses are opening and closing every year in the UAE. Why? Not just Africans, but all around. Sustainability is one thing that the UAE is pushing, and it should affect every businessman here.
Yeah.
If you go around and you see a business shop doing well, you just open, flashy and everything. After 6 months, 1 year,
Packed up.
it's packed up.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have to say about roles mentorship play in advancing one career?
Yeah, mentorship is very important. It's you can't do without it.
Yeah.
Because you have something you're looking up to, and that's like your goalpost.
Yeah.
Okay. You can see beyond the player.
Yeah.
You can see beyond the mentor because the sky is your limit.
Yeah.
But he's like a benchmark. Okay, he has gone there, he has attained it, and you're like, how did you get there?
Yeah.
And when you are taking some steps, like I have a brother here, when he started his coordinating role, he keeps calling. When some top decisions come, I'll say, okay, don't do anything. This is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do. So over time, he now knew exactly, this is a management position. He was an officer before. Now he's going slightly into management position. The approach is different.
Exactly.
You
Totally
understand?
different.
Completely. So now he has improved on it. We only call now to just shout and everything, or maybe he has something serious, he can call again. So it's very important that you have a mentor. Okay? It is. Now I can sit down, I can pick my phone and I just call somebody. So I have a challenge in this area. And I said, okay, this and this is where you can get it. Now we have people that have gone ahead of us here.
Yeah.
So we call, we look at them.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
There are them that are at the same level with us. We actually share ideas. So those below you, what do? You pass the information to them. So you are not just having a mentor, you have somebody you are transferring also to. Then you have people you share ideas with. You understand? But without a mentor, it's a difficult one.
I think school of mentorship is a very big one that a lot of us really need to dive into. I think that's the part that we actually fail.
Even if you are doing well, just have one.
Yeah. Lastly, let's wrap this up. What advice would you give to young Africans moving to the GCC for the first time about succeeding in their career? What advice? In 2 minutes.
Depending on where you're from.
Okay. Let's say I'm from Nigeria.
No. Except you school here.
Okay.
Then you have an upper edge. Forget about it. Now, let's assume there were no embargoes, no restrictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before you leave the shore, now, if I put up a job for an application for people to apply for it, if you see the job, there are a list of requirements.
Yeah.
And what you should have. Now, if I have all the list of requirements and I have all the qualifications, then I can apply.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Now, but if I am not here, I have a challenge. So if I come in here and I'm ready to pay the price, you understand?
Yeah.
I'm saying that there are no restrictions now. whether, because here there are no restrictions. Okay, I can pay the price. Okay.
Yeah.
Because when you go for an interview, it's either they have like a favored candidate, or first you need to look at that position. Is it a position which someone in the UAE should occupy? Because when you apply, the first thing they will look at, okay, is that a position that can be occupied here before you bring somebody as an expert? So when I said an expert, I mean you are a pro in what you are doing.
Yeah.
So coming here, you serve as an expert. But if you're coming here at this time where the development of the local are so much, you understand, and they are pushing, they are what will I say now? They're developing so fast.
So fast, yeah.
And you want to come at this point in time, you must be someone that is well equipped.
With all the experiences, the certificate, wherever you are coming from.
Wherever you're coming from in Africa. It doesn't matter Europe or anywhere. You should be well equipped. You should have something they don't have.
Something they don't have.
Something they don't have anywhere because the competition is stiff. Every single opening, there are 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 that is fighting for that same spot. So why are you coming if you're not prepared to fight for it?
You must have something that they don't have.
So that is the thing. You understand? You remember there was one of our brother had an interview in Qatar.
Okay.
One of our pastors.
Yeah.
And he had interview with over 1,000 people.
Wow.
Europe, everywhere.
That's a huge number.
That's a huge number. So it was among the first 10. Take it. So the question is, what is it that he had that even those from Europe and America didn't have?
He has something different from.
So that's exactly what we are saying. So if you are coming here just because you want to come here, they say the place is just come, just put your CV. No. Don't come like others come. Come prepared. I met a young man, he said he went to Germany for a course, for training, his master's. Before he left the shore of that African country, he was already fluent to an extent in German.
That's something.
What does that tell you?
Something different.
He prepared himself. You understand?
Yeah.
So that is one thing you should do. Prepare yourself. It is tasking, it's demanding, but prepare yourself. Know everything about where you're going. If you're going for a job that has two different areas, study about this area. Gradually begin to pinch out some of those certifications that you need. So that when you come, you'll not struggle.
Wow. What a session. I hope we can go for that because we still have a lot of things to discover. We couldn't complete everything.
We have so many.
I think we're going to have probably another section again where you're going to pour everything out. Maybe we're going to be having maybe section where you're going to be dishing it out section by section where people will be learning because it's a whole lot to take in. It's a whole lot to take in. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogaga, for coming.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Well. You've done a great job here tonight. Thank you so much. I hope we're going to receive you next time.
Thank you for being a good host.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. That's it. So please, if you are watching this for the first time or you are jumping on this channel for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe because we're going to be bringing you a whole lot of things like that you're going to learn. And please don't forget to turn on your notification bell so that anytime you get the notification, you just click in and there's a lot of things that you're going to be learning. My name is Anthony Ochiko. See you on the next podcast.